Good afternoon. I'm going to go ahead and do a devotional. I'm glad I was able to have time to do this before I go to work. I'm just going to get right in to the devotional. And I do want to say again, I hope you're having a good Friday. Okay, this one, and I'm hoping I'm not rereading ones because I kind of just sometimes randomly pick one. But this one's called Caution. You can only run a stop sign so many times. Perhaps you feel familiar with the intersection. It's quiet and there's rarely any cross traffic. You do come to a full stop at first, but on your next trip you don't quite stop. You move slowly into the intersection, looking both ways. On future trips, you relax even more until eventually you enter the intersection looking straight ahead and barely slow down at all. Smack. What just happened? Did you have an accident? To be honest, officer, I never saw it coming. Wisdom looks ahead to the end of your actions. It improves your focus to discern between right and wrong, between good choices and bad. In this spirit, wisdom advises you to be cautious, to be on the lookout for unseen dangers. Wisdom is smarter than all of us. And when wisdom says stop before moving forward, you should listen. The verse is Proverbs 2:10. For wisdom will enter your heart and knowledge will be pleasant to your soul. So I don't know. I just thought that was a good example of kind of what wisdom does look like, and how we can tend to think something's going to always be the same and maybe not be as cautious. And this is a really good example with, a stop sign or an area where, it's always the same. And yet things aren't always the same. Sometimes something can happen suddenly and be different. I know in my neighborhood there's not a lot of vehicles, but there are times when, surprisingly, there's like more vehicles, or there's a truck or something that might turn down, even when, I just take my walks around the neighborhood. And so for me to just walk in the middle of the street and not pay attention would be kind of dangerous. And so I tend to walk on the side of the road. And, I'm filming and I know that I can get distracted, but I'm listening and paying attention and, looking both ways and everything. And so I guess that's really what it's like for us in our life. All the choices that we have, the things that we can do, what we want to do, what we can do, choices on who we, should be hanging out with and who we shouldn't. I think we always have that, kind of inner, I don't know if it's called a gut feeling or what, but just to kind of really check your spirit. And honestly, that's something, whether you believe in God or not, when you're like questioning something, whether you're driving too fast. And when I was driving before, I admittedly will say that I probably like to drive faster than other people. My truck really didn't allow that. It's just an older truck, and so that's not something that I could do, which was probably a good thing. I wouldn't certainly drive fast in the winter time. But anyways, we all do have our struggles. And sometimes the things that we choose to do in our life can be dangerous. And I think that it's just a good reminder to pay attention to pretty much everything that we do, how we respond to people, you know, strangers, friends, family. Even when you're driving, how do you respond to, a driver that might cut you off or do different things? For me, I always really like to give benefit of the doubt to everybody. And I will be honest with you, last night I was very tired. It was the end of the night, and this customer, which we knew she was trying to steal, and she went into the fitting room. Somebody else let her in, and she was trying things on, and she was taking a lot of time, and it was almost closing. And so she came out, and one of the other co-workers was asking her, what are you going to get? What are you going to put back? And she really just didn't know for sure what she wanted, what she didn't want. And so she had two carts, and she was putting stuff in the cart that she didn't want. And I was standing further away, and I was just feeling tired. My knee was hurting. I just wanted to go and, be ready for the night to end. And so I really felt that I was a little bit short with her and the situation. Normally, I kind of stick out of it. I don't really get involved in a lot of that stuff because I feel like I'm not, loss prevention. That's not really part of my, excuse me, my job. But anyways, I said, as I watched her put clothes in and out of the baskets, trying to decide, and I felt like I was losing it, honestly. I was just very frustrated, and I was just like, we close in 5 minutes, and, I don't know how I said it, if I was rude, if I was loud, but I knew that I was tired. And she kind of looked up and asked again or said what, and I just repeated, we're closed in 5 minutes. And then I said, and I'll escort you up front, to take her to the register. And that's really not something I've done since I've been at the new area that I'm working now. And so I just feel that, I was a little bit short. And I'm going to be honest, I'm frustrated with the many people that come in and steal, the food and the clothes and the jewelry and, get in our area and do a lot of stealing. And earlier that day, one of the head directors stopped somebody, and it was a significant amount of money. And I just thought, there's got to be a better way. And I really have prayed about it and prayed for these people that are making these choices. These are not wise choices. And yet they're doing it for various reasons. They could have drug addictions and different things that are going on that they have made that choice to do that. So I just, maybe I didn't care for how I responded to that last night, but I know that part of it was because I was tired. Anyways, I don't know that is about caution, but I often will do some rabbit trailing and something will remind me of something. And I think everybody does that. You're thinking about one thing and then you might start talking about something else. That's just how my brain works. But anyways, this is just a really good reminder, the devotional, about really paying attention to what we're doing, where we're going, in our life, when you're driving, when you're at work, in your relationships, with your family, your friends, and coworkers and strangers, and your relationship with God, if that's what you're going to choose, if that's what you want. You really can just start at the beginning. If you don't know him, then I think it's something that you can research. And I say that because anymore, there's so much out there, that can tell you how to live and what to do, that you really do need to, check out if there's a church that will work for you and ask some other people, what are their beliefs? And yes, you can get on your phone and do some research and go to a bookstore and get a Bible and get some devotionals and, find out. There's some really good movies. C.S. Lewis has quite a few movies and books, and he was not a Christian, and he has a really good story. I forget the name of a couple of his different movies that are really good, but just find out for yourself what you want to believe in, and don't just rely on Facebook or any other social media or even YouTube videos and sermons and things that I have watched that are really good. But find those things out for yourself. If God is real, is he the one that created the earth? Is he the one that created us? And I think it's harder and harder for people to believe that. There's so many things coming at you to confuse you and make you feel like you're really unsure of any of those things. The Bible, is truth, and it is so good to get in and read what he has to say about everything and all that the people went through. The many people, Joseph and Moses and Noah and, on, and Job and Jonah. So many good stories that are true. you know, and David, King David, and Solomon, you know, and just so many more. I don't really have a whole lot of time to tell you about all of them, but I just encourage you to do the work and take some time to research, and find out what you think, because it will be a journey and you will continue to learn and grow, but you really do have to have an open heart, to accept, you know, Jesus in your heart, and believe that he is who he says he is. So I've kind of gone on a couple different topics, but I'm going to let you go. I hope you have a really wonderful rest of your day and weekend. Blessings. Okay, bye.